Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are at the Stafford Speedway for race 9 of 10 for the Street Stock Showdown division. We've had 9 races so far. 8 races so far. Last one was won by Mark Keteman in the number 2 machine. He's currently second on the board as we watch Brandon Kelly make his way down the back straightaway. Keteman doing some donuts down in the pits. Here's a 2-time winner this season, Chris Smith. Third quick on lap number 1. Good run for the 80 machine here down the back straightaway. We'll see what he can do. So we've only got about 7 seconds left here in qualifying. It looks like that is it. A quick qualifying session here in the street stocks. We like to keep the pace of the program up because we've got super late models after this. So now it's time for the warm-up. We'll get our results up on screen. Alrighty, let's try and get the results up now. There we go. We'll get them up on the screen. Russo, your fast qualifier here tonight. I believe the redraw was a 6, so that'll put Trey Ashworth on the pole. Brandon Elvis not able to get a time in there. Connor Baker also not able to get a time in. 3 minutes, a quick qualifying session. Mark Keteman right now, quick time in the warm-up. We've got about a minute left here in the warm-up session before we get our feature underway. 50 laps here at the Stafford Speedway tonight. As we get lined up and ready to go, we'll get our starting lineup on screen. We've got 11 cars coming to green. Trey Ashworth and the number 8 machine going to be on pole after the redraw of a 6. That'll put Jeremiah Woods Jr. to his outside in the triple twos. Zach Murphy going to roll off third in the 29. He'll have 2-time winner this season, Chris Smith, to his outside in the 80. Mark Keteman, your winner last week, will start from this 5th spot. Then Russo in the 21, still looking for his first victory this season. He'll start 6th place, I should say. Logan Drumheller in the number 5 machine, going to be starting from the 7th spot. He'll have Brandon Kelly in the 9 to his outside. Kyle Heinzelman in the 57, going to roll off from the 9th spot, and he'll have Brandon Elvis to his outside, your points leader coming into tonight's race. He's got a 64-point advantage over Zach Murphy in the 2nd spot, 115 over Chris Smith in the 80. But Smith, after tonight, going to meet the are gonna, after tonight, these guys are gonna be able to see their drop weeks. So that'll be exciting for points. These drivers throughout the 12 race season, or 10 race season here in Street Stocks, they're given 2 drop weeks. So they drop their worst points. So whichever race you finish worst in points, that is the race that you'll drop. As they head into turns 3 and 4, we're going to get the field underway for 50 laps of green flag racing here at the Stafford Speedway. Pace car is off into the restart zone. The lights are up, and we are underway here at Stafford. Down into turns 1 and 2. Ashworth with a good start there. Looked like Woods might have missed a shift up on the outside lane. They're 3 wide behind. Carter Russo wasting no time in the 21. Splits the middle of Chris Smith and Mark Kedeman, and Russo already up into the 5th spot early on. Trey Ashworth going to lead him back in complete lap number 1. Trey Ashworth leads lap 1. Your winner last week, Mark Kedeman, right there in the 3rd spot. As, ooh, look right there. Mark Kedeman taking a peek to the inside of Zach Murphy. Murphy to the back bumper with Trey Ashworth a little bit there. And now he's going to have to defend from Mark Kedeman. Murphy up the racetrack trying to use that outside lane to build up a run. And he gets a little bit of contact from Carter Russo. Russo trying to peek for 3rd. Murphy trying to close that door, but he's going to have to give the lane to Russo in the 21. As Carter Russo moves up into the 3rd spot, Mark Kedeman sets his sights on your race leader, Trey Ashworth, as Ashworth goes up the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. And Mark Kedeman will take the lead down into turns 3 and 4. New leader across the line right here. Mark Kedeman back out front in the Street Stocks. As Kedeman goes down into turns 3 and 4, Brandon Kelly around out back. He reset that race car, brought it down to pit road. We stay green. Brandon Elvis trying to work his way forward. Started this race in the 10th spot, up to the 8th position. As he sets his sights on Logan Drumheller now. Chris Smith and Jeremiah Woods battling for the 5th spot on the racetrack. Looks like Smith is going to take that position back as he tries to move back forward. Carter Russo in the 21, your fast qualifier. All kinds of pressure from the 29 of Zach Murphy. Down the front straightaway they go. We are 7 laps into this one. Across the stripe. Good lead for Kedeman down into turns 1 and 2, but we're watching the battle for the 3rd spot. Russo made a big charge there early in those first couple laps, but hasn't been able to make up much ground, and now he's got Zach Murphy all over the back bumper of him. Murphy trying to find a lane to the bottom. Meanwhile, Brandon Elvis gets around Logan Drumheller. And oh, there goes Zach Murphy to the bottom. Big time move sideways down low as a 29 machine. Threw it in there dirt track style. And now he's under fire from Chris Smith in the 80. Smith down low, Murphy up top. Murphy trying to hold that spot and get back to Carter Russo. Good battle there for the 4th position. As, oh, Murphy loose again in the 29. He's going to go back up the racetrack. Here comes Jeremiah Woods to the bottom. Murphy trying to get back to the front, outside of the top 5 now. Jeremiah Woods sitting there in that 5th spot. But up front, it's Mark Keedeman, your race leader here at Stafford. Last time around when we came to the Stafford Speedway, it was Justin Coleman heading to victory lane. That was his 3rd of 4 victories last season. Him and Brandon Elvis tied with 4 apiece. Elvis walked away the champion by 62 points over Brady Cox. Elvis this season trying to pick up his 2nd Street Stock Showdown championship. As the battle once again on for the 5th spot. Zach Murphy down low, Jeremiah Woods up top. Brandon Elvis right there waiting in the wings. As up in front of them, Chris Smith starting to put some pressure on Carter Russo for the 3rd spot. As, Zach Murphy gets tagged right there. Through the grass he goes. He keeps going. I think there was contact with Jeremiah Woods in the 222 machine. As up front, here comes Chris Smith to the inside. He gets around Carter Russo for 3rd. Back down into 1 and 2. Russo drives it in way deep, nearly clips the back bumper of Smith. He goes up the racetrack, move Chris Smith up to 3rd. Down into turns 3 and 4. Mark Keedeman out to about a 2nd over Trey Ashworth as they get across the line that time, 16 laps in. Approaching that halfway mark. Your field pretty spread out, though. Brandon Elvis up into the top 5 in the 54. Was able to complete that pass on Jeremiah Woods. Behind Zach Murphy all the way back to the 8th spot. Started this one up inside the top 3 in that 3rd position. He got loose a couple of times, and then he went down through the grass in turns 1 and 2, and now currently sitting in the 8th spot. Here comes Murphy trying to take a peek to the bottom. Looks like Drumheller up the racetrack, and the 29 will move back through to 7th. You can see how loose that car still is as we go on board with Zach Murphy. Definitely doesn't look very easy out there tonight. He's still fighting the wheel. Wow. Zach Murphy really having to work that race car, and that's partially because he got that right rear tire hot battling with Carter Russo. You can see the effects of it now. So here comes Brandon Elvis closing up on the back bumper of your fast qualifier. Here comes Brandon Elvis, 21 laps in. Russo trying to close off that bottom lane. Goes down to the bottom. Elvis going to try to use that top lane through turns 1 and 2. The big run down the back straightaway. Here comes the 54. To the inside in turns 3 and 4. There goes Brandon Elvis. Russo blinks in and out there. Through the center of the corner they go. Brandon Elvis is going to have the spot at the line. Russo going to try to peek back to the bottom. Gets into the bumper there, the 54. Elvis going to be clear into turns 3 and 4. The bumper to the back of the 21. As Russo gets back to the spot. Elvis with a bumper of his own. And more of a bumper still through the center of the corner. The 21 of Russo trying to save it up off. Here comes Zach Murphy to the bottom. They're 3 wide into turn number 1. Jeremiah Woods looking low as well. Here comes Brandon Elvis with a huge run down the backstretch. They're 2 by 2 through the center of the corner, this time by halfway in, halfway home. As Brandon Elvis is going to take that spot away. Carter Russo back to 7th. Elvis was clearly not happy about the way that Russo raced him right there, especially after the contact that was made last night. Russo got into the back bumper of the 54 after an early spin. And Murphy and Elvis now battling side by side for the final spot. For that final spot in the top 5. Murphy goes through on the bottom, but look at that run down the back straightaway. This is allowing Chris Smith to really get out. He's closing in on Trey Ashworth for that second spot. Keep an eye on him as he gets closer, but still we're watching this battle for the 4th position. Elvis and Murphy, neither one quite ready to give in. They're door-to-door across the line. That time it was Brandon Elvis leading, but they are oh so close right there. As Carter Russo drives back to the bottom of Jeremiah Woods, he's trying to take over that spot. Meanwhile, up front, here comes Chris Smith to the bottom of Trey Ashworth. Chris Smith with a good run there up into the second spot. We'll see if he has anything for your race leader with 21 laps to go. He's got about 2 seconds to make up. We'll see if he's able to do so. Elvis in the 54 rolling the outside lane of Zach Murphy. These two still side by side. They've been side by side for quite some time now. As Elvis gets back up on the outside, Murphy's able to get clear. That brings Carter Russo back down low in the 21, and Elvis is going to hold him off, and he'll be clear for the spot down into 1 and 2. And Elvis with a heck of a run through the center of the corner right there, was way low off of 2. Just didn't quite get there. And the bumper from the back of the 21. More contact down into 1 and 2. Elvis and Russo not happy with one another here with 18 to go. Russo blinking out of the way. Back down into turns 3 and 4. Does Elvis repay the favor? Not quite. Didn't get into the back bumper that time. You've got 16 laps to go. Keedeman still opening up that gap. Zach Murphy in the 29 likes what he's seeing back behind. He's back up into that 4th spot. And these two behind are battling very hard for that 5th position. Russo currently holds it. But we've got 15 laps to go when Mark Keedeman gets back around. A big lead for the 2 machine. It'll be 15 to go right there. You see Chris Smith and Trey Ashworth still battling back behind. But there is this group right here, 4th to 7th. Carter Russo trying to track down Zach Murphy while also trying to hold off Brandon Elvis. Elvis not applying too much pressure in the current moment. But last time by, definitely a little bit quicker than the 21 machine. Look at Jeremiah Woods peeking a nose right there in the triple twos. He's trying to find a way forward. As Woods gets a good run down low. Does he have an opening down the backstretch? Looks like not. You can see the brakes on that 54 machine very hot as he enters turns 3 and 4. Here comes Carter Russo to the inside of Zach Murphy. Murphy going to try to hold him tight down into the center. They get sideways. And Carter Russo looks like he's going to go through to the spot. Murphy in the 29. Trying to get back to him. Gets into the back bumper there. And sideways is the 29 of Murphy. He's going to get sideways. Brandon Elvis is sideways. Here comes Jeremiah Woods to the bottom. Oh, a big door there. Woods in the 222 machine. And around goes Zach Murphy. And that might bring out the caution flag. Maybe not. Murphy gets it back going. We stay green. We stay green. Zach Murphy down into the grass. Tough break for the 29 machine. Was running inside of the top 5. And it all goes away here with 9 laps to go. Kiedemann out front, still your race leader by 3 seconds over Chris Smith, trying to make it 2 in a row here in the street stocks. Meanwhile, Jeremiah Woods right there trying to have one of his best runs of the season. Currently running in the 5th spot, taking a peek underneath Carter Russo there for that 4th position. This time by, it'll be 6 laps to go. 6 to go for Mark Kiedemann. So we continue to watch this battle for the 4th spot. The closest car is on track at the moment. You see Brandon Elvis back behind. He lost a lot of ground with that contact with Zach Murphy. And Mark Kiedemann gets back to the line. Next time it'll be 5 laps to go. 5 to go for the 2 machine, trying to pick up his 2nd victory of the season. Woods in the 222. That was a good corner there. See if he's got anything for this 21 machine. Looks like Russo able to hold strong up off the corner. Woods looks really strong in the entrance in the corner, but that 21 machine able to roll back around on the outside lane through 1 and 2. 222s definitely look a lot better down in 3 and 4, though. Through turns 3 and 4. 3 laps to go this time. Your race leader, Mark Kiedemann, trying to cap this one off. He'll come around this time to 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks up in the air for Mark Kiedemann. Trying to pick up win number 2 this season. He won last week. Went to victory lane last week at the USA International Speedway. Led 44 laps en route to his first victory of the season. As battle for the 4th spot, Kiedemann takes the white flag. Final lap around for the number 2 of Mark Kiedemann. But battle for 4th on the final lap. What can Jeremiah Woods Jr. do? Kiedemann's going to win it by 5 seconds at the line as he comes out of turns 3 and 4, backs it down. Here's the move into turns 3 and 4. What can Russo do? He's not going to be able to do anything, and he will end up in the 5th spot. Jeremiah Woods Jr. comes home 6th. Kiedemann, your winner in the 2 machine. Chris Smith 2nd. Good run for him. Trey Ashworth comes home 3rd in the 8. Jeremiah Woods Jr. 4th. Carter Russo 5th. Brandon Elvis 6th. Logan Drumheller 7th. Zach Murphy 8th. Kyle Heinzelman 9th. Brandon Kelly 10th. Connor Baker rounds out your field in the 231. As we will grab a word from our top 3 finishers here. Try and keep things quick. We'll see if we can't get Trey Ashworth up into the booth. Trey Ashworth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, 3rd place here tonight. You started on pole in the number 8 machine. Kind of got shuffled to the back, but you came back through the field there and ended up in the 3rd spot. Tell me about your run.
Yeah, man, it was actually a pretty good race. I got in kind of last minute. Had some other things work related to get into, but I was able to make it. Qualified 6. Invert was a 6, so luckily started on the pole. Led a few laps there, and then I let Mark go. I just didn't want to race him too hard there early in the race, and then he kind of set sail. But it was all in all a pretty good race.
Yeah, it was a good run for the 8 machine. Who do you have to thank for a podium finish in the first race of the evening?
I'd like to thank you for first and foremost for putting this on and everything you do, and I'd like to thank Coleman Designs for the scheme, and he's the setup man for sure for the schemes for sure.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Trey, on a good run here tonight in the street stocks, and we wish you luck throughout next week and later tonight if you run the supers.
I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. All right, now to talk to our 2nd place finisher here tonight up in the broadcast booth. Chris Smith, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Alrighty, well, 2nd place here tonight. You qualified in the 3rd spot, which puts you 4th. Got taken 3 wide early there on lap 1, but you were able to get back around Carter Russo and a couple other guys and end up in the 2nd spot here tonight. How do you feel?
Yeah, man, just those first couple laps, I just trying to be patient. I didn't have enough tire by the time I got up there to try to run Mark down, but overall, take it.
Yeah, it was definitely a good run for the 80 machine. Who do you have to thank for a podium finish in race number 1 of the evening?
First off, thanks my wife for letting me do this. Say hey to my dad. I know he's watching. Elvis Coleman Racing, Coastal Performance Shop, Chastain Law Firm, Barry Elvis Performance Fabrication, Coleman Designs for the sweet paints, and thank you for putting everything on.
Yes, sir. It's been a fun time. It's good to talk to you up here in the booth, Chris. Congratulations on another good run in the street stocks.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Now to talk to our winner here tonight in the street stock division, Mark Keedeman, 2nd week in a row, winner in the street stocks. You get a copy?
I do.
Alrighty, well, congratulations, Mark, on win number 2 this season. 2 in a row in the street stocks. It's got to feel good. Got the lead pretty early on there, and didn't really have to look back after that. We went green the whole time.
Yeah, just pushed it a little hard for the first 2 laps or so, just so I could get clear of all the traffic, and then just set our sights on the Trey and got by him pretty easily, and then smooth sailing from then on.
Yeah, definitely looked like pretty smooth sailing. Kind of backed it off there out of 4. I think it was going to be 5 seconds you had over a second, so it was definitely a good run for the number 2 machine. Who do you have to thank for a win in race number 1 of the evening?
RKM Setup Shop, Justin Brooks Designs, Coleman Designs, K Cars, Race Cars, Clive Power Equipment, Friesen Performance, Topsoil Landscapes, and everybody that puts the steel on for us.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Mark, on a victory in race number 1, and we wish you luck later on at Oswego in the Super.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, folks, that was your winner here tonight, Mark Keedeman, in the street stocks. And that's going to wrap it up for us here in street stock coverage. We're going to hop on over into the Super session and get that up as quickly as we can. But thank you guys for tuning in to tonight's Street Stock Showdown race at the Stafford Speedway. It's definitely a fun one there. Went all 50 laps green, so good run to these guys. But that's going to wrap it up for us here. Thank you guys for watching. I am your host from the WD Broadcasting Network, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace out.